Wenn ein Pakketchen kommt, dann freut sich groß und klein. Wenn ein Pakketchen kommt, ist auch beim Regen Sonnenschein ein Päckchen gut verschnürt, ganz ohne Spesen. Man kann nicht schnell genug den Knoten lösen. Wenn ein Pakketchen kommt, ist auch der Kranke nicht mehr krank. Und er schreibt sofort ein Kärtchen, besten Dank. Und er schreibt sofort ein Kärtchen, besten Dank.
Cute, huh? We were happy. It was like playing a game, like, you know, like kids playing a game. We had fun, and you didn't remember while you were doing it. We didn't feel that we were incarcerated. You know, we felt more like could have been on the outside, and we were trying to have some fun, make the best of it, not thinking what would happen the next day.
Er was een meisje en dat had veel geholpen in de oorlog. En dat meisje, dat was gepakt. Dat was een Joods meisje. En toen heb ik gezegd, ja, ik geloof niet dat ik nu verder moet werken voordat het meisje eruit is. En toen ben ik naar Assen gegaan, want het meisje zat dus in Westerbork. En toen ben ik naar Assen gegaan en toen heb ik daar de machinist gezocht van het treintje dat Westerbork altijd inreed om voedsel te brengen. En ik heb hem gevraagd, durf je mij mee te nemen? Dan zal ik een pakje aandoen van jou en dan zal ik proberen dat meisje eruit te krijgen.
Guys, mind if we join you?
All right, ladies. You're here forever, right? How long?
26.
26 years, that's right. I wasn't born.
And she's only 38. It's a long time. I would think so. 26 years.
And they haven't paid you yet?
People 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I lost a couple of them. They're not all here.
You want some of them? You can borrow some of
Other people always ask what they mean.
Yeah.
And I keep telling them I'm a Russian general, but they don't believe it.
Some of the patients salute me when I walk in. The men, you know, they try.
I always said I want them all the way down to here. You think I'll make it?
So.
Curdy family, surgical waiting room, please. Doctor on the line. Curdy family, surgical waiting room, please.
I was very lucky. I never had anybody who was nasty to me, even the Germans. I never had a problem. They put me in a camp, yeah, and I lived in a camp, but nobody ever bothered me or shouted at me. They knew me because I was on stage. We were up there singing and dancing. See you later. We used to get packages from the outside, mostly with food. So, DFK, Vliegende Kolonne, where I was working, we got the letters and we got the packages, and we were the one to bring them to the different barracks and to the people. And there was a feast for everybody who did get a package here. Not everybody did, of course, but it was welcome.
Wenn ein Pakketchen kommt, dann freut sich groß und klein. Wenn ein Pakketchen kommt, ist auch beim Regen Sonnenschein ein Päckchen gut verschnürt, ganz ohne Spesen. Man kann nicht schnell genug den Knoten lösen, wenn ein Paketchen kommt, ist auch der Kranke nicht mehr krank. Und er schreibt sofort ein Kärtchen, besten Dank.
Everyone's been so nice here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hope you feel better.
Thank you very much.
Everybody can use a little something.
Und er schreibt sofort ein
These are for
Kärtchen.
you.
Oh, that's very nice.
From the hospital.
That's very nice.
And when you go home, you take it with you.
I
The
certainly
flower,
will.
the vase, the whole
I
thing.
certainly will. I just don't have to. Hope I can come back to
Ooh, you're
get
playing
more.
cards.
Playing cards. You got to pass the time.
I used to do that all the time,
All the
but now
time.
I'm doing it on the computer.
I do it on the computer. I don't have a
yeah.
computer here.
How come?
I'll put in a complaint to St. Francis
You
and
should.
get a computer.
You should. But I love to do that.
It
keeps
keeps
your mind
the mind going. It keeps the
Absolutely.
mind going. And I'm here
Yeah.
5 days. I want to go home. I went home today.
Fine.
And this is the third time I'm here in this hospital. Not that I love you. I love
I
the
know.
hospital.
And
You
we
take
love to
good-
have you, but
Thank
stay
you.
out of here.
Right,
Und er schreibt sofort ein Kärtchen, besten Dank.
Beter? Zo herken ik hem weer.
All these flashbacks, they come little pieces, you know, not like a whole story. I see certain pictures, certain things that happened. I remember getting off the train. I don't remember how I got into the barrack. I know they took our names and everything, and I came to Westerbork all by myself. My parents were somewhere else in Vught, and you came off and you were looking around and you were it was only getting to the barracks, see those beds of the 3 high. It was not really funny.
Er was een aankomend transport, dus mensen die kwamen van, ik denk Amsterdam. En toen was zij daar, had een lange jas aan. En viel op door haar, voor haar schoonheid, innemende schoonheid. Dan ben ik nog ziek als de dag van gisteren. Of van vandaag zelfs.
Was je verliefd?
Nou, verliefd, dat is een veel te bescheiden woord. Dat iemand die op een bepaald moment, maar dat gebeurt meer, dat je iemand ziet en dan denk je, ja, daar heb ik een bijzonder contact mee vanaf de very first moment I saw you. Zo moet je het zien.
Ich liebe nur die Heide, auf der Heide allein kann ich glücklich sein. Ja, das ist meine Wonne, meine Seele erwacht, wenn die Sonne lacht.
My mother was doing gymnastics, and my father saw her out the window and turned to his friend and said, I'm about to make a very big mistake. And he kind of jumped out the window and walked over and said hello to her.
He told me when he first saw my mother, he knew he was in trouble right away. There was some kind of a fence or some kind of a post or something like that, and he said, now I'm in trouble, as he stepped over it because he knew this was the beginning of some kind of a... I think he physically fell in love with her, so to speak.
Ich liebe nur die Heide, auf der Heide.
The first thing I liked about him was the way he talked. He was from Vienna and they talk different than the Germans. You know, they have their softer. They have a lovely dialect, and that's what I like that. I remember that.
This is my father right here, and this is taken from what I'm told in front of the metal shop at Westerbork. And I know he's part of the fire brigade, and I know they used to have drills and things like that. And I know that on one day a week he was there to make sure that when the people came in on the trains, that he got them off the trains, and I know a week later that he got them back on the trains to go out to the east, and I know that's what he did.
Want wat betekende dat? Eisinger van de OD? Wat was je dan?
Iemand van de OD. Nou, de OD was een erkende organisatie, de politie in Westerbork. En dat was toch wel... waar je rekening mee moest houden.
Maar was dat een hoge functie, of hoe moet ik dat zien?
Nou, moet goed, als je hier de parkeerpolitie hebt, dat is geen hoge functie, maar je kunt er toch last van hebben.
It's a picture of him and me when we were quite a few years younger. It's a small, it's very small, and I don't know where it is. I haven't been in there in years.
Het is vrij eenvoudig met die kleine rangeerlocomotiefjes. Want dit is een ding overhalen en nog een ding. Ik zou het nou niet meer kunnen hoor. Maar toen heeft hij me het helemaal uitgelegd. En toen gingen we naar Bijlen om op het zijspoor naar Westerbork te komen. Nadat ik een pakje van hem aan had en me een beetje gesminkt had met zijn gruis. En dat was dan ook. Nou, en toen zijn we daar op dat station gebleven. En toen kwam de laatste razzia binnen uit Amsterdam. Een trein vol leed.
It's nice, it's a nice picture. That was before Westerbork. 41, I don't know, beginning of 40s. We have our faces together. It's only the face, you see, only from up. Two young people.
Nou ja, en toen zijn we Westerbork ingereden. Ik wist niet hoe ik dat meisje uit al die duizenden en duizenden tevoorschijn moest toveren, maar toen zag ik een nichtje van me, Liesje, die daar langs liep. Toen heb ik een klein jongetje dat daar stond, heb ik gevraagd, kom even dichterbij. En haal die juffrouw even daar. En die kwam toen. En toen heb ik tegen Liesje gezegd, weet jij waar Hansje is? En toen wist ze dat. Toen heeft ze er gehaald. Ze dorst niet mee. Ik heb haar toen gezegd, je moet er morgenochtend weer zijn. Hè?
It was just Rob and I. Cute picture. I liked it. I think he was a very good-looking guy. Very male. Absolutely.
And what did you look like?
Like a girl. With a big grin on her face. I liked him. I loved him.
Op een gegeven moment op een avond liep ik met haar langs de spoorweg, noem het maar zo. En toen zei zij, mijn vriend, en dat was die beroemde toneelspeler, en die komt mij vanavond halen als ik wil. En die komt hier als stoker op een ouderwetse locomotief. En toen zei ik, wat je ook doet, je moet in elk geval zien dat je wegkomt.
En we kwamen in Westerbork aan. Zo met dat treintje. De volgende ochtend, het meisje stond klaar. Het moment dat ik er optilde, toen heb ik helemaal niet gekeken. Nee. En toen stopte ik er in dat hokje en nou ja, toen zat ze goed, zakken eroverheen. En zo zijn we weer naar Assen teruggekomen, eigenlijk door die hele bewaking heen.
And there he was. And I got on the train and we left. Yeah, right in front of everybody. Nobody saw it. And in Assen, I stayed on the train. He got off, he changed his clothes. I sat on the bench waiting for him. And he took me, and that was it. Easy. I was scared, but... And then we took the train from Assen to Amsterdam. I had my coat on, and I had taken my star off, the Jewish star. And when I got to Amsterdam and I took my coat off, you could see where the star had been because it was sewn on there for such a long time, you could still, the impression. So everybody on the train could have seen it. And besides, I was smelling of Lysol, something awful. But you don't realize when you live there in it. But when I came out and had the fresh air, I said, oh my God. Nobody on the train said anything, and they must have known that there was something.
Ik breek hem zijn nek. Nee, wat denk je dat er gebeurt? Als we hem kapot maken, hè? Minstens 50 gevangenen worden uit wraak neergeschoten. Vooruit, breng hem naar binnen.
Nothing surprised me with him. He was unbelievable. I mean, the things he did doing it was great, but scary at the same time. We had all kinds of plans. We were going to get married and we were going to have 6 children. He was my big love.
Pas goed op jezelf.
Dat zal ik doen.
Hör ich Musik, dann singt jeder Ton. Ich liebe dich. Die Spatzen am Dach, die pfeifen schon. Ich liebe dich. Mein Herz ist von Sehnsucht erfüllt. In Träumen erscheint mir ein Bild. Das bist du. Das bist du. Nur du.
Weißt du noch? Weißt du noch? Erst war es ein Liebestraum. Ich denke noch immer daran. Ich denke noch immer an dich. Und du bleibst auch für mich. Das Ewige, weil ich dran denke. Und das wird so bleiben. Das wird so bleiben, glaub mir. Glaub mir.
Ich habe es bei Tag den Blumen erzählt, ich liebe dich. Ich habe es bei Nacht den Sternen erzählt, ich liebe dich. Ich singe es hinaus in der Welt, dass einer mir nur noch gefällt. Das bist du, nur du.
En de volgende dag was Gemmeke was zo kwaad. Die zei tegen een van de leiders van de ordedienst, Eisinger, Hans Eisinger, je zorgt maar dat ze terugkomt, want anders ziet het er voor Westerbork niet goed uit.
Das ist aus dem Film, wo ich immer die Tür zumache. Bei dieser Film ist der einzige Film, der in einem Lager gedreht worden ist. Und jedes Mal wird der gezeigt, der Film. Wenn über Auschwitz berichtet wurde, über andere Lager, wo dieser Westerbork-Film auch immer wieder reinkommt. Das war ein junger Mann auch, den ich kannte. Und dann haben die Leute noch gesagt, sag noch, geh zu meinen Bekannten in der Baracke so und sag auf Wiedersehen. Ne, und so. Ich habe mich daran gewöhnt, dass er gezeigt wird. Ich habe ja kein schlechtes Gewissen, dass ich eine Tür zugemacht habe.
Nein?
Na, was soll ich machen? Der Gemmecker sagt, ihr macht jetzt die Türen zu. Da haben wir die Tür zugemacht. Von weiter haben wir nichts gewusst, wo der Zug hingeht. Das war in der Baracke. Das war in Westerbork. Da habe ich gewohnt in so einem kleinen Abschnitt. Und dann nebenan war das Zimmer, hier hat Hans Eisinger gewohnt. Und da haben zusammengesessen, haben Karten gespielt oder Schach gespielt und haben über die Zukunft gesprochen, geflirtet natürlich auch. Ja, war verliebt. Wenn man in ein hübsches Mädchen verliebt ist, dann guckt man nicht die anderen so an. Er hat nicht gleich jemand anderes haben wollen oder befreunden wollen. war enttäuscht, dass sie weggegangen ist.
They sent him to Amsterdam to get me. They sent out a few from the OD, from the Jewish police, so to speak. They sent him out of the camp to go and get me. They just searched all the trains. They went places in I don't know where in Amsterdam to look for me. He knew about my friends. He knew. We had talked. He went and he came to the place where I was. He figured that I was there. And I was amazed, I was stunned when I saw him.
What story did he tell you?
He told me that they were looking for me, that they had missed me and that they sent him to find me. And if he didn't bring me back, then he would go to Auschwitz. If he found me, I don't know exactly what was being talked about behind it. I didn't ask. But I decided I'm going back. Besides, I had found out that Rob had a girlfriend. And that didn't sit too well with me. As being wildly in love with Rob, but scary. The insecurity with Rob, I wasn't so sure, so I didn't see him while I was in Amsterdam. If we had been together, it would have been different, but we were not. I was all by myself with strange people. And scared. And then I didn't feel comfortable. So I went back. Yeah, my other choice would have been to stay in Amsterdam. I mean, to slip away again. You know, I could have slipped away, I'm sure. But I was tired of it. I was like, it's enough already. And I was awfully young. I'm not talking about years. I talk about, it took me a long time to grow up. Times were different, scary, very scary from old times. And I figured when I go back, I will see my parents again, I'll find them, and when they send me on a transport, being alone in Amsterdam was not what I really liked. I couldn't go out in the street, and it was not freedom. It was more of prison than being in the camp, where I could run around and be outside. Not that it was fun, but I can't explain it. I'm sorry. It's...
Der Micker war ein gut aussehender Mann, der hat gesehen, das ist ein hübsches Mädchen und hat eine Ausnahme gemacht. Dass wenn sie zurückkommt, braucht sie nicht auf Transport zu gehen. Jeder, der geflüchtet ist, musste sofort auf Transport gehen. Aber nicht Hanni.
He felt like this was his city, and he was the king of the city, that he could pardon somebody or he could punish somebody, and I think that's what the whole thing was about.
Wat mij betreft was zij wel de leukste, maar ze waren dus allemaal leuke meisjes om te zien, goede figuren. En ik speelde mee in bepaalde rolletjes wel, ja. En er waren veel mensen die dus boos waren en die zeiden, kun je dat nou doen? Terwijl aan de ene kant de trein vertrekt en de andere kant staat op de bühne, ja. Dat was natuurlijk, die geef ik groot gelijk. Er staat aan de andere kant tegenover dat je dus voorlopig vrijstelling van het transporten kreeg. Wat heel belangrijk was. En dat er maar een beperkt aantal bezoekers in zo'n zaal konden, maar 300. En Gemmeke zat er altijd alleen vooraan. En de eerste rij was voor hem.
He had the bluest eyes I've ever seen. And the coldest, like ice. Oh yeah, he talked to me in person. I worked for a while in the garden. And planted, I think it was tulips we planted in his garden. Oh yeah, he knew me, he knew exactly. And then I was on stage. I was one of the dancing girls. You saw the picture. So everybody knew me. So he knew exactly who I was, and so that's helped me get away with things also. Because he talked to me. He just stopped me and I was like, and then he marched off. Good-looking man, very good-looking man, but ice-cold eyes. I think he liked me, but not as a woman, rather as a child, or as a girl. And then there was a Dutch painter who painted a picture of me. And Gemmeke wanted it, and he got it. He made a sculpture of me.
This shirt holds good. You have no wrinkles.
I don't.
Where? You look great. I just hope I can look like you when I reach your age.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Take care. Bye. Have a good week, okay?
You too. I'll talk to you in between.
I don't know the relationship of Gemmeke, who was the one who ran the camp, but I know that some of these individuals there were Austrian. I think a lot of SS people were Austrian. My father was Austrian. And I think, you know, when you get right down to it, if you have this, he spoke like a Viennese, and I think that they recognized this. So I think there was no great love there, but there was a certain understanding. And I think my father made it very clear that he would not bring them back or bring her back unless there was some kind of security. And I think somehow he got that feeling that they would be okay. I mean, you're dealing with the devil, who knows? But I think he was fairly secure with the fact that this was going to work. And it did. I mean, she came back in and they survived. They married shortly thereafter. And from what I understand, the day where they were liberated, I was conceived. So must have been fairly successful.
Gemmeke liet doorschemeren dat hij moest maar met haar trouwen. Dat gaf zekerheid dat ze dus in het kamp zou blijven.
Waarom was het zo belangrijk dan voor Gemmeke?
Nou, om de dood eenvoudige reden, omdat zijn gezag was getrotseerd. Ja, dat was een hele slimme Duitser die dat op een goede manier speelde.
Een trouwboekje.
Een meisje van de vee en een jongen van de OD. Die zagen zich in den Augen.
Room for 12 children.
Okay. Er sprach, du liebe Frau, Ich hou bestimmt van jou.
Only two.
Dat ruimt sich hier. Kom hier, ik hou van jou. Es war vor der Baracke 83. Ich wüsste es genau, die Sache macht sich. Ein Mädchen von der Fee, ein Junge von der OD. Die sah sich in den Augen, die Sache war okay.
I felt safe with him somehow. Hans was very warm person, very caring, he was much older than I was. So he was more like fatherly. And he was in love with me anyway, so he married. One couple after the other. They came in from the burgerlijke stand. And next, very romantic.
She's a survivor. She somehow manages to get it all together, and it worked out. I think it's the same thing with her escape. I think she just put one foot in front of the other and followed her intuition and survived.
And who do you think saved her life, Rob or your father?
Oh, ultimately my father. I think my father. I think Rob saved, gave her an incentive, gave her, a cause basically to escape. But ultimately I think my father did, because my father always protected her. I think my father did whatever he could to keep her in Westerbork as opposed to let her go on a transport. And there isn't much that you could do at the time except influence her. And I think the influence is what kept her there.
Er ontsnapte een keer, toen ik weg moest naar Auschwitz, een notaris uit Amsterdam, die had een houten poot. Ja, en dat is volgens mij de beste manier om over het prikkeldraad te komen.
En toen moest jij als strafmaatregel?
Toen moest onze groep, als een geheel, we hadden een bepaalde werkgroep, ik was toen geen boodschappenjongen meer, moest dus met een speciale wagon, met maar 50 man erin in plaats van de 80, 90. En schone matrassen om op te liggen en een schone poepton. Dat waren dus de speciale dingen die wij als hardwerkende groep hadden.
There was a train coming, all men from Vught, via Westerbork to go to Auschwitz, and my father was on it. Then that was a hard one. They kept them a few days. They kept them in Westerbork before they sent them to Auschwitz, and they put them in strafbarakken, special for misbehaving people. And I talked to him for a little bit and said goodbye. And
did you see him leaving?
I see them getting into the train. And, the cattle cars, they have a little window on top with bars. It's not a window, really, it's an opening. And when the train left, he must have climbed up. All I saw was his hands on the thing. He was trying to pull himself up to see me. I just saw this.
Ja, das sind Schienen, wo die Züge waren, die Transportzüge. Und dann die Leute mit Rucksack und so weiter und Kinder sind dann zu den Zügen gegangen. Und das ist, wie habe ich das genannt? Oh, der Leidensweg. Also die im Westerbork geblieben sind, haben Glück gehabt, das waren 900. Wir waren der letzte Transport eigentlich. Wir sollten im letzten Transport und dann Westerbork zumachen. Das war der Befehl von der SS. Und, aber das ist nicht mehr geschehen. Kanadier waren eher da, bevor wir weg waren. Und dann haben wir erst ein paar Wochen später erfahren, wohin die Züge gefahren sind. Da haben wir die Bilder gesehen, die ja bekannt sind, die ganzen Leichen und ja, die Haufen von Menschen und so weiter. Und da wurde uns ziemlich komisch zumute, als wir das gesehen haben, wo die Menschen eigentlich alle hingekommen sind, die meisten. Ne? So. Vorher wusste man das nicht. Wir haben so einen Zug gesehen, der wegfuhr, das war alles.
I think there's something in Hebrew called beshert, which means fate or destiny. And I think it was beshert that this all happened, that it just was meant to be. Who knows why so many people survived? Who knows why? My father spent 6.5 years in this camp. That's a long time. My mother, 2.5 years. I don't know many people who spent 6.5 years in any concentration camp. I mean, it was him and maybe 6 or 7 other guys who were part of the Ordienst. And they stayed the whole time, and that's amazing. Nobody stayed. You were there for a minimum, maybe anywhere from a week to a month, and you were gone. You were out. You didn't stay at Westerbork very long. You didn't stay at Vught very long. You didn't stay anywhere very long. When you got to Auschwitz, you didn't last very long. So it was always amazing to me that the two of them stayed there the whole time, and they were okay.
Ja, ik kwam 9 juni 1945 terug uit Auschwitz, uit de kampen. Toen ben ik eerst naar mijn vriend gegaan. Toen hoorde ik dat mijn zussen er allemaal waren. En toen dacht ik, dan moet ik Hannelore nog vinden. En die vond ik in Amsterdam ergens, ik weet niet precies waar, op een bovenvertrek. En toen was ze dus 8 maanden zwanger. En dat ging dus niet door toen.
Wat had je dan voor plan gehad?
Nou, dan had ik haar dus wel bij me willen houden. Noem je dat trouwen of wat je dan ook... Maar ik was wel gewend om teleurstellingen te verwerken natuurlijk aan de hand wat ik had meegemaakt. En dus dat ging dus eenvoudig niet door.
Wenn man könnte, was man heimlich wollte, das Verbotene, das man nicht denken sollte. Wenn man könnte, was man sich erträumte und was man aus Angst bisher versäumte. Vielleicht war dann das Leben ist lebenswert. Vielleicht war dann das Tolle erstrebenswert. Die Gedanken scheuen das Tageslicht. Aber ich glaube oft, ihr kennt euch selber nicht.
May I kiss you?
Yeah, please.
Nice of you to come.
Nice to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you. How are you?
Look, it's pretty. Thank you so much. I love roses.
Okay.
They're so beautiful. They're really gorgeous.
Yeah. Maybe they come from Holland, I don't know. Or most
It's
of
very well possible.
we bought them here, but...
Because we used to bring them in. I used to work for LL.
Oh, yeah.
And we used to import them. We brought them in from...
from Holland?
Yes.
Yeah.
I helped offload them.
Of course, yeah.
Steal some.
Steal some, yeah.
We took some. We all took some home.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, do you think I look like him?
You don't look like him, but you do.
Yes, without my glasses.
Without glasses, much more. Yes, around the nose, around here, around the upper part.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah. Did you have something like the kind of survival guilt? You know about that?
No.
People who came out of the camp and had a survival guilt?
Not at all. Not at all. But what I do is I watch almost every program that has to do with the Holocaust.
Yeah, you do?
I do. And even if I've seen it before, I watch it.
So it's an obsession. This is something that's
could be,
really...
yeah. If I know about it, then I definitely watch it. It's... I mean, and I look at it and somebody said, nah, it can't be true. And I know it's true. I was there.
Yeah.
You know, but it's so unbelievable. And I can understand people saying, well, that can't be true. I can understand it. Not that I like it, but I can understand it.
Yeah, because it is unbelievable, of course.
And that, but not only that they did it, but that we let it happen.
Yeah.
Why did we let it happen?
Yeah.
It's
But so, you were in hiding. During that time, did you have contact with Rob?
No.
Not at all?
No.
You didn't see each other?
No, because it was a short time. I was with these people on the ground, and he had his things to do.
Yeah.
And there was no chance actually to speak to him or see him. I saw him. He tried to stop me. He must have been in a tram.
Yeah.
To the train. He wanted me to stay, and Hans wanted me to leave.
And Hans was there too?
Yeah.
He was also in the tram?
Yeah.
So Hans and Rob met each other at that moment?
Yeah.
And Hans didn't know about Rob?
Oh, yes, he did. Oh, sure, he knew about him.
He knew that you were in love with him?
Oh, yeah.
And so...
He was... he didn't want to give me up, and he wanted me back. And I was afraid for him, if he didn't bring me back, that he would go to Auschwitz, otherwise I wouldn't have gone back. It was really a tough moment.
Incredible, tragic moment.
Yeah.
And
the stranger stopped him. He could have gotten in trouble there, because he wanted to know if he was Jewish, and he had to drop his pants. So he let go.
Oh, yeah? So this was a Dutch...
I don't know what the whole thing behind it was.
That was the big fear of my father, that they found out about his Jewishness. So what was the last thing you saw of my father then?
This is about that was it. And once we got off the train, off the tram rather, I don't remember anything about the trip back into the camp. Nothing. I was very nervous when they called me and said they were going to interrogate me.
Yeah.
And they put me in a room and they wanted me nervous.
Yeah.
They left me alone for an hour.
Yeah.
And that was their mistake.
Okay, so
I calmed down.
Oh, yeah.
I had an hour. All the neighbors said, what are you worried about?
And what did you tell them?
Oh, I told them a beautiful story.
Tell me.
The Germans are very romantic.
Yeah.
And I told them I had a boyfriend in Rotterdam. And I heard through the grapevine that there was another girl. And I was so jealous, and I had to make sure that nothing happened, and I was going, that's where I left.
Oh my gosh, you are a good liar.
I am.
Was it a bit the truth also? But was Rob having an affair with another girl?
I don't know. I'm not sure, but I know that he had a girlfriend. Before me already.
Before you, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know if it was finished. I couldn't tell you. I don't know. I didn't want to know.
No, I can imagine. And so, how long did you have a relationship with my father?
Well, the last time I was when I came out of the camp.
When you came out of the camp?
Only once.
How was that?
I was in the Schouwburg, in one of the loges. We met in the...
What did you do in the loge? I could ask everything you said to me.
Well, I leave it up to your fantasy.
In the middle of the day.
You will never look at it the same way.
It's certain very theatrical place to,
yes.
to make love.
It was absolutely along his line.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. Yeah, along his line, yeah.
Zeg Rob, bij mijn illegale activiteit in jouw Arnhemse huis ben ik ook nog een persoonsbewijs tegengekomen op naam van Robert de Graaf, die toen weer veel jonger was. En daar ben je rangeerder. Wat hield dat in?
Oh ja, nou ik moet toch voor de bijl dus. Nou, dat was zo. Er was een meisje en dat had veel geholpen in de oorlog. Ons allemaal ook. En dat meisje, dat was gepakt. Het was een Joods meisje. Dat was gepakt in de tijd dat ik op dat moment net in België was. En ik hoorde dat en toen heb ik gezegd dus tegen